Hi everyone, my name is Cleo.
I'm Heather.
Welcome to Heather Palappos Gallery. I'm doing an interview with Heather, the owner. We have been over so many different things today. I am so excited for you to go look and see all the different details and the backgrounds and just the different wonderful things that we've covered today. As far as you as a person and the artist that you have here, how long you've been here, all of your skill levels, the challenges and things that you've been through as a person with your medical conditions. But as of right now, we're coming to an end with our interviewing today, but we really need to go over types of products that are being used. When it comes to your inks, tell me a little bit more about those.
So 99% of the time I use Intense brand ink. I love this brand. They are clean, they are quality. These colors last forever. And just, they're an American company and they do everything I want to. I'm germophobic. Whether you know this or not, tattoo inks are not inspected by the FDA. There are no FDA approved tattoo inks. When I learned that early in my career, I had to do my own footwork. I had to find a brand that I felt was clean enough for my clients, good enough for my clients, high enough quality. These guys are the trifecta. They're so clean, they have the highest quality, and they work well with everybody. So, Intense brand.
But that other 1% of the time, what is that?
So every so often, I get a client that comes in that wants UV tattoos. Intense does not offer UV inks.
Okay.
So I do have to look elsewhere for my UV inks. I was previously using the Immortal brand, which has been discontinued. So once these bottles run out, I will need to do some footwork again and find a UV brand that I trust. But in the meantime, I do have Immortal colors. I do have them available, but we'll see how long they last.
Do you ever take pictures showing the UV? Like, I think I've seen people like in a nightclub with it, but have you ever like done a tattoo and then after it's like healed, taken any like pictures?
It can be a little tricky to take pictures of.
Really?
Yes. I do try. I have posted them. But again, they're very few and far between.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a difference in cost when it comes to the types of inks that you're having to use when you're going between your brand and then the UV brand?
No.
Is
Not
that
at all.
the same? Okay. So tell me a little bit more about the equipment that you use.
So, a year and a half ago, I got myself a pen machine, wireless. It's rechargeable. I love it. I don't have to deal with foot pedals anymore. I don't have to deal with wires anymore. I don't have to deal with power supplies anymore. And this allows me just to work on you without worrying about any of that.
That's really cool. So you mean to tell me there's like it's a battery pack in there?
I think so. Yeah, it's rechargeable.
Oh, it's rechargeable.
Yeah.
Okay. So if there's a power outage, at least your needles will still work.
Yes, and if there's a power outage, I do have a backup power supply and I have a light. So heaven forbid the power goes out while I'm tattooing you, I've got you covered.
That's really awesome. I'm one of those people that when I come in for a session, I'm going to be sitting here for 5+ hours.
Yep.
Now, what we learned on my last session with you was definitely a surprise to both of us.
Yes.
Most of the time was focused on the sharks on my tattoo. I think it was by hour like 4 or 5. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm getting a little sensitive, and then you had suggested the Bactine.
So I started using Bactine Max in May of 2020. It hit the market around that time, and it has lidocaine in it, and it is wonderful. I've used it on hundreds of clients with no issue at all.
And
I swore by it and I offered it when people were struggling, but unfortunately Cleo did have a reaction to it. She's the first, and I'm not pushing it as much as I was because of your experience.
I hope I don't ruin it for everyone, but so that you're aware of what my experience was, when we used it, there was a slight burn, which is expected, when your skin's open. But we had spent almost 4 to 5 hours in that one area, so it was a very open section. I ended up with a really severe chemical burn, and it wasn't just there; it was also on my breast because I'm working a tattoo there too, where it took me almost 10 to 14 days before the skin properly healed enough to where there was actually skin there. So it's important to know if you have any allergies and to be aware of that. And for me, I believe it was the non-oxaline that's in this, because that's something that I know that I don't always react well to, but that was in a different type of product.
Right.
So this was for me almost a guarantee, like, okay, well, now we know.
Right.
But it's good for everyone to consider if you have any allergies, that there's always a chance that there could be a reaction. Like it doesn't matter what product it is, your body can always react to something.
Correct. So after her experience, I am now, still offering it to people, but definitely having them look over the ingredients, make sure there isn't anything in it that you could potentially react to.
Yeah, that was an experience, because then I had to come back in to work on the same spot over, and that was only like 3 weeks later, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, no matter where you go, make sure you read the ingredients on products that are being used on you, and make sure that it's going to be safe for you.
Yes, absolutely. Now the last thing that we should go over is going to be your aftercare instructions.
So this is my aftercare sheet. Hopefully the video is getting it. It's very wordy. I've had a lot of experience over the years, and I have been told it's probably the wordiest aftercare sheet of any tattoo artist. I cover all my bases.
Wait, it's good to be able to do that. And what is the synopsis that you have on this so that they're aware of it? And
I bolded the most important information. You read this over before I even start on you, and then I give you a copy to take home, so you don't have to memorize it. What I recommend, you're going to be leaving with your tattoo wrapped up. I tell you to leave it on for 3 to 4 hours. When you take it off, I want you to give it a gentle rinse with clean hands just to get the ointment off that I put on there. Pat it dry with a paper towel and put a thin layer of ointment on it. I prefer Aquaphor. Aquaphor to me is the best, but it is more expensive, so A&D is perfectly fine as well. It's just a little more greasy. I want you to repeat the rinses and ointment applications for every 4 hours for the first 2 to 3 days. And then after that, you just put lotion on it a couple times a day till it is done healing.
okay, now I'm going to bring up a controversial subject because you and I talked about it. I recently did my swimwear products over at a tattoo convention. When I was there, one of my sons decided he was getting a tattoo done. When he came over to me, it didn't look like it was covered. It looked shiny, but I couldn't figure out why it looked shiny. But the guy had stuck like this sticker thing over his tattoo, and he was supposed to leave it there for a few days, which I was just completely blown away by, which, by the way, my son ended up having a reaction to it.
Oh, he did?
He did have a reaction to it. The adhesive that's on it irritated his skin, and he was actually more sore after wearing it than what he should have.
Right.
So you don't use those, correct?
Right. So when those products came out, everyone was using them. My husband had me buy a roll of, it was actually Sanoderm, and we used it on him. It's a big sticker. It's a big clear sticker. And the instruction says on Sanoderm says to take it off after 24 hours. The next day, I helped my husband take it off, and it was horrible. It was horrible. Peeling a sticker off of a fresh tattoo is just not great. I get that it's supposed to be easier. You don't have to do all the aftercare stuff, but I just can't in good conscience put a big sticker over a client's fresh tattoo. So I do still use gauze. I do still use Aquaphor, and I do still recommend the rinses because that's the best thing for your tattoo.
I can definitely agree with you on that one. I'm actually highly sensitive to any sort of adhesives. So the idea of if someone didn't even ask me if I got a tattoo somewhere else, which is probably never going to happen, to just stick that on me without even considering like how much it could affect me.
Right.
So that's a really scary thought. So for those allergic to adhesives or latex and things like that, or glues, should really be careful with using those.
Right. So I don't recommend it. I still have the roll for my husband. I have had a couple people request I use it, but I give it to them on that context that I don't recommend it.
But it's good to know because everyone uses different products, and you see so many different things that are out there. I've been happy with your work and the way that everything's kept clean. I've never had any infections on my work, and I've been getting tattoos. Well, it's one huge tattoo, but for what, 5 years now? It's been 5 years. Oh my gosh.
It's been a while.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We went over so many different cool things today and getting to learn a lot more about Heather, the fact that she's not just a tattoo artist, but she does amazing artwork otherwise that is available for being purchased. Bye everyone.
Thank you.